Friday, and I just got done watching 2010's Saw, the final chapter, aka Saw 3D, aka Saw 7, starring Sean Patrick Flanery, Chad Donella, Costas Mandylor, Betsy Russell, Tobin Bell, because why the hell not, and of course the big one, Cary Elwes. I can't tell you, I have never seen this movie before. Thank God, because if I'd had to re-watch this, I might have cried. But I cannot tell you how much of a big deal this was made when this movie came out about Cary Elwes' return as Dr. Lawrence Gordon. It was spoilered all in the trailers and that, and talked about everywhere, which would make sense if this movie even remotely revolved around his character. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. The flashback to the first movie, in the beginning of the movie, like, while it's showing all the, because this was a 3D movie, so all the credits are flying at you. There are some awful gratuitous throwing stuff at the screen for 3D effects in this movie. It's so annoying. Anyway, yeah, they have this whole segment flashing back to the first movie in the credits. I swear that segment is longer than Elwes' whole time in this movie. It's ridiculous. You see a bit where he cauterizes his stump in the hallways after crawling out of the bathroom, and then he's not in the whole movie. And you're just like, okay, and it kind of... They have this big reveal at the end that he's been involved helping Jigsaw, and that makes sense on some level, because of, obviously, I was wondering how, and that's why I didn't question it on the videos, on my reviews, because it never made sense that Amanda, Jigsaw or Hoffman could do like 95% of these surgeries that were done on test victims. But I didn't question it because I knew Gordon was in the final movie, so I was just like, oh, that's how it's going to pay off. Surprise, surprise, that is exactly how it paid off. But no, he is not in this entire movie. It's still trying to tie up Hoffman's story. And you know what? That would be fine, except Gordon is about 100 times more interesting. He has the family. We never see the wife or his daughter again. We don't see him connected with them. So it doesn't even bring those characters back. No. It brings back the lady who chopped off her... Try that again. The lady who chopped off her arm like 2 movies ago. We could bring her back. But the emotional crux of this character, who you were then telling is the new apprentice. No, we don't need to see them. Don't be silly. So yeah, Gordon is way more interesting because of his backstory that we were treated to in the first movie, because that was such an intimate story between Leigh Whannell's Adam and Gordon. We got a real sense of that character in the whole, was it 6 movies? I know nothing about Hoffman. He has absolutely zero character development. The only thing we know about him is that his sister was killed, he took revenge on her murderer, and he seems to have a penchant for murdering, which Jigsaw doesn't like, and that's it. He just walks through, and it's not Costas Mandylor's fault, because he plays the character as well as the script allows, but he just wanders through the whole, all these movies, and it's something I've not brought up, but I was hoping there would be some payoff, and there just wasn't. All he does is he just wanders through each movie being, I'm evil, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. That's it. There's no payoff for him. So if you had told me, like, if you were given some more depth on Gordon, it would have been way more fulfilling. But no, this movie instead while continuing Hoffman trudging through the whole thing and setting up other law enforcement and pointlessly killing people, and you know, just so they can give us some of those good 3D splash effects. No. This movie again wants to focus now on as its B plot. As I mean, I guess they would say that Hoffman stuff is the B plot, but I'm sorry, this. So now, instead of, we had the scumbag life insurance guy last time, this time we've got some random guy, the most random of random guys, who has heard about the Jigsaw victims and decides to go, oh, I'm one of those. Nobody thinks to check his story or anything while he was doing this book. I don't know how he got away with this without any red flags going up. But there's some scumbag guy going around saying he's a victim, and of course, now I'm pretty sure because Gordon turns up. So this guy, he's hanging out at this support group where victims of Jigsaw are telling their stories and stuff like that. And this guy's there. And it turns out that Gordon's at this thing as well, and he's obviously onto Bobby, played by Sean Patrick Flannery, and I think he's the one who starts up this game for Bobby, and it's following him through all the traps because of course it's a Saw movie, and that's fine. But you know what? Last time, number 6, I was exhausted. I felt like the franchise was exhausted. You could feel it just watching that movie, that everybody was done. This movie is just pointless. It's like, look, we will give you an ending. We're going to give you closure. We're going to give you conclusions. We're going to make you feel like, you know, this is the proper ending. It doesn't. It's so pointless. And even worse is, because it's starting out with this whole shock factor, it starts out with this trap that is in the most public place possible. And you're like, how? How did this even get set up? Just how? And nobody does anything. And you're just like, what is even the point, the lesson to be made here? It was all for show. It was so not Jigsaw. And again, as I said last time, if it was you know, it was just each apprentice's kind of style, it was their thing. But this just didn't feel like any of them. It didn't feel like any of their styles. So yeah, this movie is just pointless. I don't recommend this at all. I mean, I had to get through 6 to get to this one. To say I was exhausted yesterday would be an understatement. I just have nothing to say about this one, really. It unfortunately was a victim of its time with the whole 3D stuff, and being the series that it was, it makes sense that it would fall into that 3D trap. There's something very Jaws for. Is it Jaws 4? The whichever one the Jaws was that went all 3D. There's something very much about it. I just, yay, we got to see Tobin Bell again. Okay. It's just pointless. It's 90 minutes. I didn't even the traps were stupid. Like, some of them aren't even real. Some of them are, like, one of them is Jill, who turns up again. Being hunted down by Hoffman because of course she tried to kill him. Yeah, things don't work out well for her. But yeah, so she imagines a trap where Hoffman's trying to kill her, which again led into the 3D stuff. And then a lot of the other stuff that Bobby goes through for all the people that he's trying to help. It's just like, okay. They just seemed set to fail. There was no hope. And I know these aren't John's traps. These are Hoffman's or Gordon's or whoever's. But there was no lesson for the people involved in the traps. it was all about Bobby. If you don't save them, then they die. And I'm just like, okay, so in a way you could say it was leaning into, you know, that whole torture porn, you know, the people were just there for the traps. And I would get that, because as I've said, something I've commended is that the traps have always been quite inventive, sometimes scarily so to think that people came up with them. But they were so flat in this one and pointless. I didn't really care much for Bobby. His whole story just ended. Like, his wife dies and then he's there? And I'm like, okay, there was no conclusion. There was no conclusion for his stuff, because then it cuts to Hoffman getting away and Gordon stopping him, and that's it. It ended so abruptly. I was just like, wait, what? It just felt so ridiculous, especially the bloodbath at the police station. I was just like, seriously? Just is nobody else at this police station? So yeah, you've got this, because Jill, I didn't talk about, Jill has gone to this internal affairs guy, Gibson, played by Chad Donella, and he's supposed to be protecting her and that, and he gets killed, and he's like, but before he does, he's telling this person that's back at the safe at the police station, get all the cops back and that. And she stood there on this line. I thought she was like an actual cop or something, but no, she's just on the end of the line going, Gibson? Gibson? Why aren't you answering after I heard machine gun fire? Hello, Gibson? Gibson? And then she gets killed because she's not paying any attention. I'm like, I mean, there is movie logic, which she was playing by quite well, but to the nth degree, it was ridiculous. I thought they were taking the piss, to be honest. It's not the worst movie you can watch, but bearing in mind, I have just watched the previous 6 movies back to back. And as a conclusion to that series, I went in with low expectations. I thought if I go in with low expectations, I should find some enjoyment in it, and I didn't. I did not. So I cannot recommend this at all. Again, I still say number 3 was a far better conclusion to the movies that had happened already than anything that has come afterwards. This does have the same writers as the past 3 or so movies, but yeah, I just don't even bother. That was... yeah, I don't think I've got anything more to say about it. It's pointless. It's stupid. I can't even say it's a good pop. I'm pretty easy going when it comes to movies that you can just turn your brain off on and just watch for all the pretty gore and stuff like that. I didn't get even any enjoyment out of the gore. It was insane. So yeah, I got nothing else to say on this one. That was 2010's Saw 7, Saw 3D, Saw the final chapter, whatever you want to call it. It's that one. And that's the end of this week. It's been interesting to go back and do these reviews. I don't think I'm going to be doing any anytime soon. Now, to be fair, one, I was obviously working on all interconnected movies this week, so that was a bit sapping, because obviously you're keeping tabs on everything and stuff like that. But I've also been working hard on 3 other editing video projects at the same time. So I've been pretty busy this week, trying to be keeping my self busy while having a mental breakdown and stuff. So I've been doing stuff and that, but yeah, it's been a lot of work to ignore my phone. It's been a lot of work to, you know, sit down, to stand and record these. I as much as you wouldn't think it by watching my other videos, it takes a lot for me to get up in front of the camera and talk about stuff. So yeah, I don't think I might do like some special movie a night, bubbles kind of thing, different movies every now and then, see how it goes, see how I feel. And I'm aware, obviously, there are now more Saw movies. There is Jigsaw and there is Spiral. I have not seen either of those, and I will review them at some point, watch them and review them at some point, but I won't be doing them as a part of this series. I feel like this is contained, you know, and it's all gone together, and that's all I need to do. I don't know why I'm suddenly out of breath, sorry. I think it's just because I got so frustrated. I did have to record this a couple times before this take as well, because I found out I had bean juice on my gin. So, yeah, I have been standing here for quite a while now. So, yeah. But thank you so much for watching. I've blathered on enough, as usual. Please share your thoughts on this series. It's been fun to see Darth Sidious has been commenting. It's been good to see your comments, Darth Sidious, as always. But please share your thoughts on the series, on just where it ended. If you've seen, especially like this final chapter. And again, please share your favourite horror movies, your favourite movies that you like to watch at this time of year to get in the spooky mood. But for now, guys, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe and all that garbage. And I'll see you somewhere down the line. For now, though, this is Sketch for the final time this week. Signing out.